Alone. You're in the darkness again. In a deep void with you, the darkness, and a group of your family and friends standing before you. You wave towards them in excitement, having longed to speak to them all again. But to your surprise, they all turned their backs and started to walk away. Shocked at their reaction, you try to shout out to them before something wrapping around your mouth, gagging you as you try to scream towards them. You claw at the thing wrapped around your mouth, but it continues to pull you further away from your friends and family. You feel your arms and legs being wrapped in something as well, pulling you backwards. Your body struggles to stay in place, trying with all your might to get even a step closer to them. Your family and friends fade away as you are dragged further and further behind. You scream with all your might, yet nothing comes out. You pull your arms and legs forward, only to watch as they begin to disappear into the darkness. You feel it swallow you whole as your silent screams fade into it. You begin to cry as the last of your family and friends vanish until you hear the sound of an alarm. You lunge forward in a cold sweat, breathing heavily at the sound of your alarm clock going off. Panicked, you quickly place your hand over your chest, hearing the sound of your heartbeat. Your eyes dart around to check your surroundings, taking notice of the familiar room you were in. It was covered in various decor that you had strung around the room throughout the years. Wiping your brow, you sit up from your bed as your hands slide through your hair and down to the back of your neck. It's been a long time since you've slept soundly at night, thanks to this dream. It was like a broken record that can never be replaced or changed. Your heart still racing, you turn off the ringing alarm, stand up, and get changed into some comfortable workout clothes. Sweats, a t-shirt, a light hoodie, and your best pair of running shoes. Taking a deep breath, you walk outside your home, locking the door behind you as you start to move into a light jog. The wind brushes past your body as your feet push against the ground beneath you. This sense of freedom that you always enjoyed during your runs made sure you couldn't help but smile from the sensation. Yet, you never felt this sense of freedom when you were with your friends and family. You always felt as though you were a lone wolf, but never understood why. Your friends and family love you dearly. You see them on a daily basis, and always have a blast when they are around. So, why do you always feel like that same wolf that lingers on its own, wounded from being forced out of the pack? Perhaps you know more than you realize. You spin around and skid to a halt, shocked to hear the sound of a voice whispering into your ear. All you see is the empty trail that you had been running on, with its swaying trees and dirt road, the wind gently brushing against both as it moves gravel and loose leaves. You must have been hearing things. Shaking your head, you return to your run, thinking to yourself that it must have simply been the wind. A while passes before you need to stop and catch your breath, seeing that you have reached the turnabout point in your run. Wiping the sweat from your brow, you walk towards a nearby water fountain and begin to take a sip. This wasn't something you often did, but today felt like a day you were a lot less hydrated than usual. Pressing the button, you activate the flow of water. You lean forward to start taking a light sip. Why do you just ignore the facts? You spit out the water in shock, quickly spinning around towards the whispering voice. You know you heard something this time. It was as clear as day that someone was whispering into your ear. Yet, as you looked around the small rest stop, there was no one there. To the left of you, there was nothing but the trail towards the main portion of the town. And to the right, back to your home. Something was not right. Hey! You walk out from the water fountain and onto the main trail. You assume that someone has been following close behind you and simply hiding from you. Come out! There's no point in hiding from me. Though a bit afraid, you still stand your ground as you keep looking around, waiting to see who was following you. Hiding. My. Aren't we making quite the assumption? Who said I was the one hiding? The voice whispers into your left ear. You spin around and put your fists up, gritting your teeth as you see nothing. This isn't funny anymore. Show yourself! As you wish, the voice whispers into your ear. You look around in a panic, trying to get your bearings of where they could be. Turning in all directions, seeing that you're the only one on this trail. Your heart racing at the fact you can't see this person whispering to you. Your eyes dart all around, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. That is, until you turn around. There, standing before you, is a small, dark, shadowy figure. It has no definitive form, but it seems to want to take the form of something or someone. You can't put your finger on who it is, but it seems somehow familiar. The figure bows, or what you could assume is bowing, towards you. A pleasure to finally speak to you one-on-one. Oh, how I have longed for this day to come. Its voice no longer sounds like that of a whisper, but a culmination of voices. Hesitant of this figure, you take a step back from it, thinking of running away in hopes of being able to outrun the small figure. Oh, please, don't try to run. I promise you, it will not work. The figure slowly approaches, encircling around you. You clench your fist as you decide to hold your ground, gulping before you ask, "What do you want from me?" The figure stops in its place and lets out a laugh. Ah, what is it that I want from you? Perhaps you already know the answer. The figure turns towards you and opens what seems to be its bright yellow eyes. I want you to stop lying to yourself and stop putting on that damn stupid smile of yours for everyone you know and love. Your eyes widen as you are taken aback by its comment, stepping away from it before glaring down at the figure. What are you talking about? Why would you want me to stop smiling for those who love me? They're my family, by blood or not. Oh, who are you kidding? You and I both know that you're lying to yourself. They never loved you. Your heart stops. The world around you moves at a snail's pace. The wind falls silent, as if put to rest, like an elk is by a hunter's bullet. The distant sounds of cars and life disappear, leaving only you and the figure. Gritting your teeth, you step towards the figure. How dare you lie to me? The figure remains still, staring back at you. If you think I am lying, prove me wrong. Provide some concrete evidence that you are truly loved by those you say are your friends and loved ones. Angered by the figure's claim, you immediately start to shout. That's easy. My friend groups that I spend all my time with. Whenever we're together, we always have a blast. Whether it's in person or on a virtual call, we always have each other's backs. The figure hovers mere inches in front of you. Then why is it that you're always the one who initiates the conversation and hangouts? You stammer a little, not expecting it to counter your argument. Because they are all usually busy with their own lives. I can't expect to get everyone together all at the same time every day. Then how do you explain all of their hangouts without you? Do you think they forget to invite you by accident every time they spend time together? Well, And what about when they post stories about each other on their social media? How they are friends that they would ride or die with. Every time you look onto social media, every single person in that friend group is there. Everyone. The figure extends a piece of its body towards you, taking the shape of an arm with its hand extending its pointer finger, pressing it against your chest. "Except for you." Your heart sinks, forcing you to take a step back and look up at the figure. Okay, fine. That's a bad example. But what about those who I've shared love with? The shadowy figure scoffs at your comment before glaring at you. Are you kidding me? Sweat forms over your brow as you shake your head. I mean, they all loved me back as much as I loved them. It doesn't matter if my relationships with them are gone. What matters is that I cherish the memories that I've made with each of them. The shadowy figure laughed harder, floating closer towards you. Please, none of them loved you like you had loved them. They might have liked you for a little while. The fact that you couldn't get any further than holding their hands is something else. If you're talking about how I'm still a virgin, I'm saving myself for marriage. Oh, yes, by all means. Play the I'm saving myself for marriage card. You and I both know that you pull that card simply because no one would ever want to share a bed with you. You are a pathetic loser who thinks that they'll win anyone over by being kind to them. You are an idiot for thinking that you'll ever get with someone with that way of thinking. You clench your chest as tears trail down your cheeks like a flowing river. You shake your head, gritting your teeth as you scream at the top of your lungs towards the shadowy figure. Liar! Am I lying? Because anyone can see that you have shared your love with those who have seemed to have found much better suitors. Hell, they seem even happier that you are no longer part of their lives. Some even seem to have already gotten engaged, if our memory serves correctly. So what makes you think that you ever meant anything to them? As you wipe away tears that seem to never stop like a dam with cracks in it, your voice stutters, barely able to form words, until you finally muster up the courage to speak. They still talk to me even if they are with someone else. Your legs feel weak as the figure looms over you. Are you seriously going to use that to defend them? You are the only one who initiates those conversations, just like your so-called friends. How can you truly defend them when they never make the same effort to reach out to you that you do for them? You fall to the floor, slowly backing away from the figure, tears now flowing down your cheeks as you have tried your best to hold it all back in. You try to speak, yet nothing but whimpers and stuttering comes out. You try to stand up, but feel as though your body weighed a ton, preventing you from being able to get back up. The shadowy figure looming even closer over your collapsed and fear-filled body looks down at your pitiful form. And your family. Where do I even begin? Time and time again, you have failed to help your parents when they needed you the most, and constantly avoid talking to any member of your family about your problems, yet you expect them to continue to love you? Use your head, idiot. They know you're a failure, and just give you recognition that you do not deserve. If you were not related to them by blood, they would have thrown you out onto the streets years ago for being the pathetic waste of space you are. You fold onto your side, covering your face as tears rain down from your beet-red eyes. You try to conjure up an insult, a response, a single word, anything to fight back against the being. But it intimidates you. Without even trying. You expect to hear the figure to continue speaking, but it falls silent. You look up from your cowering to see the world around you being swallowed by the shadowy figure. This was no mere shadow, for anything that it touched was treated like it never existed. Your eyes widen, Your breathing becomes heavy as you try to move, yet your body is stuck in place. Looking down at your legs, your left foot had already been consumed by the shadowy figure's being. Your fear-driven body pulls on your leg, only to see more of it being taken by the figure. Quickly spinning your head, you try to shout for help, but nothing escapes your lips. As tears flow down your cheeks in fear of being swallowed by the figure, you pull on your leg harder and harder as your silent screams reach no one. My dear, dear friend, there's no point in trying to deny it anymore. You look to see your body sinking into the darkness. You claw at the darkness in a desperate attempt to escape. Yet, it's fruitless. The figure reaches out towards your lone body in the dark. Just admit it. You are alone. The shadowy figure was right. You are alone. As the realization hit you like an oncoming truck, tears trail down your cheek, and the darkness of your own personal hell consumes you, making sure that there is no trace of you left in the world that is better off without you.